Karen, I need you to come do this podcast with me, and I'm not starting until you're down.
Oh, so romantic.
Anyways.
Remember when I brought 50 girls to your
Gym? Butt lift Thursdays?
your butt lift Thursday for $5?
Yeah.
And I brought bare girls?
I remember that. I really do. Can a man and a woman be friends? Theoretically, no.
People see friends with chemistry when they're opposite sex. They think now they must have something deeper going on.
What's up, Karen?
Hey, how are you?
Doing well. Thank you guys all for tuning in. If you're here, my name is Valentine. This is my co-host.
Karen.
We decided to start this podcast. We've spent years together, really just building our relationship, very organically and authentically. And honestly, I guess through our growth patterns, through some of the things that I'm naturally into, we kind of just decided to do a podcast. It was more of a, Karen, I need you to come do this podcast with me, and I'm not starting until you're down.
Exactly.
Maybe we can tell them what we do, just kind of get the knick-knack out of the way. We can tell them what we do for a living. So me personally, I used to own a gym facility, but now I have a trucking company. I've worked with Durham Children's Aid Society for a long time, but I currently don't do that anymore. Karen, why don't you go ahead and tell them what you do for a living?
I'm an entrepreneur. I've always been like selling products since I was like 15 years old. So I definitely do like e-commerce and drop shipping. I change products depending on the season or what's going good at the moment. Yeah.
Nice. So essentially you monitor your market, you monitor your sales, and you see what's happening, and then you kind of know what to sell more of.
Care to stick to like one particular thing. Like whatever I feel like is trending or it's going to sell in the moment, that's what I do. So
we got hair, skincare, supplements. You're probably going to start selling water or something soon. Anyways, let's jump right to the next topic and subject. Over here we have more or less how we met. I think we kind of touched on it already, but how we met and how we decided to do this podcast together. So I don't know if you want to go first. You can tell them how we met. And you know,
you're my Sunday school teacher. Like this guy was my Sunday school teacher. He was so annoying. And then we both kind of just like stopped going to church. Like I stopped going to church from like when I was like 12 years old. So I hadn't went to church for so long. I came back one day when I was like, 15? Yeah. And then that day, I think that was your first day coming back too. And that was my first day coming back. And I don't know, I think we ended up, I told you I needed to do my hours for, what do they call it?
A community service.
For high school.
Yeah.
And then pretty much I started going to your gym, and then
the rest is history.
Exactly.
It's crazy because you said you stopped going to church around 12. We might have stopped going right around the same time. Maybe I stopped a tiny bit before you because no, it was the same time because I was 19. It was when I went to York to go play football. That's when I stopped going to church. True story. I literally chose to go to church one day instead of doing recovery runs, thinking that I could come and tell my coach that I went to church and it would be cool. And the amount of trouble that I got in and the amount of wind sprints I had to do for being late for like the recovery. Because when we play on Saturdays, we do recovery on Sundays. And you have to pull up. Like they don't care what's going on in your life. You have to be there. Everyone's part of it. I came late. I literally ran the entire practice. I swear to God, that was my last day going to church. I never went to church again.
Actually, you told me the story before.
I did, huh?
You told me that story.
Yeah, I never went to church again. And I still don't even know what made me come that day. Because I pretty much stopped coming again, like maybe a week or like 2 Sundays after that day.
Remember when I brought like 50 girls to your...
to the gym?
To your...
butt lift Thursdays?
Your butt lift Thursday for $5?
Yeah.
And I brought bare girls?
I remember that. I really do. But yeah, so I think we've really walked a long mile together. It's like, it's something that's very underrated and a lot of people don't really understand like where this thing started from. Like whether it was you being 8, 9 years old and me being your 16-year-old Sunday school teacher, or from that period to when you started coming to my gym when you were 15 to now we're doing a podcast together. You know, congrats on all your businesses, especially your hair one. Anyways, so the next question would be what we envision for this podcast becoming a year from this date. What we envision this podcast becoming a year from this date. I don't want to take the floor from you. I'm going to go first, or you want to go first?
I think for me, it's just to just establish influence. Like the more people see me, like I sell products and I like to sell things, right?
Mhm.
So as long as like I have influence and I have a voice and people can see me, hear me, I feel like I can always make money, which is definitely something that I'm always doing. And obviously, like when the right time comes, we can obviously monetize this podcast,
Yeah.
but I'm not even thinking about that right now.
Me personally, are you done, by the way? Sorry.
Yeah.
Me personally, what I envision for this podcast, I I think we're gonna be slightly controversial at times, especially when it comes to like political or social economic issues. Um, I think we're gonna be a bit edgy at times. And then at times people are really gonna agree with us and learn from us and grow with us and acquire information from us. I don't think our center theme is trying to be edgy. I think we're really just trying to be as honest and as informative as we possibly can based on our personal experiences. But just going back to what I want to see for the podcast, it's that. And I really want us to turn into like a media company. Like, I'd really love for us to be able to host other podcasts. I'd love for us to be able to get into marketing. I'd love for us to potentially have a marketing agency. Like, the sky's the limit once you have a
Mm.
platform, you know? Once people know who you are, once people care about what you have to say, the sky's the limit. So we'll see how it goes. You know, me and you are probably some of the two most optimistic people on this planet. So um, I think we just ride the wave, we ride the course, and we just see what's happening. And if it's, well, I mean, no, if we're not going to quit, we're going until it works, but it's just a matter of how long it'll take. And
Mm.
you know, eventually we're going to get into interviews and things like that. I think we could really do something special. You know, I always appreciated the way you articulate yourself. I think you're an incredibly introspective and intelligent human. You've definitely grown in your essence, like as you got older. And I think that there's really an untapped work. I mean, I've been watching podcasts for so long. You know that. Like, I watch that when I'm bored. I watch that on drives. Like, I watch podcasts every chance I get. So when I recognize that somebody has an allure that can fit on a screen, I'm very sure. And hence the reason why I said, we're not starting this until you tell me that you're ready.
Oh, so romantic.
Anyways, so bridging on your fake romantic comment, let's get into this second last topic. We have about two more topics left. No, I say three more topics. And then we wrap up this first episode, man. I think this first episode wasn't really meant for us to like dive into much. It was more meant for us to sort of introduce ourselves, get people to feel us out, show where we're growing from, learn how to have eye contact. We don't really look at each other in our faces much like this.
Mm.
So I think that was like that was more what I was excited about for episode 1. But then episode 2, we gotta just get rocking and rolling. We're gonna drop this on the 15th of November, I believe.
Is that what we said?
Yeah, that's a Monday. And then the plan and the hope is for us to drop every Monday, just once a week for now. And then we just kind of build with our audience and see what, you know, what they want from us. If they want 2 days, 3 days, maybe even 4 days, we'll come in with it and just keep growing as we go. But for now, we're going to be doing once a week. So let's get into the magic question that I think a lot of people, well, I have 2 magic questions. I think a lot of people, when they see us, they're very interested in, and we're very peculiar to them. So most people want to know if a guy and a girl can be friends. You know, this is not the type of topics that I really envision us talking about on our pod, but I really do just kind of want to get that out of the way so people can start digesting our content without any secondary thoughts. Or I mean, we can't control their thoughts. Whatever they want to believe, they believe. But I'm gonna throw it back over to you. Like, do you and be as sincere as you humanly can. You know, we've had some of these conversations privately, but try and dive into a pocket that I haven't heard you speak from before. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, find an angle, or even if it's the exact same point of how you feel, because I think I know the answer based on our past conversations, but frame it in whatever way you think will bring new insight to me. You know, we haven't talked about it in a while. Like, we never. Like, there's no reason for us to talk about if we can or can't be friends as of late, because just do anything. Like, we went to Tokyo together as friends. I don't really think we care. But if
How did you like Tokyo?
I love Tokyo. I was probably like, I mean, I don't travel OD, but that was probably
You're acting like you wanted to go back without me. You're like, nah, I have to come back with my
friends.
Yeah.
What am I doing with you there? Sorry, I have a little. I'm under the weather, but actually, my throat's held up pretty well this whole podcast. It's probably my first cough. Anywho, back to you. Can guys and girls be friends, Karen?
Short answer is yes, of course. But obviously, I feel like it's circumstantial at times. Like, different situations can change that answer. Like, are
Elaborate.
they both now? If two people are attractive and they're attracted to each other, or could potentially be attracted to each other, that can change the answer. If it's a situation where they're completely unattracted to each other, like, for example, if you were gay, that's a simple answer. People would see us together and they would never question the authenticity of our friendship because you're gay. You could never be attracted to me.
Right.
So I feel like a lot of the reasons why people see us and they're like, what are you guys up to?
Were you trying to say I'm attractive?
Or they're so, bro, you're so big. Like,
You're trying to say I'm attractive or what?
they're so intrigued.
Uh-huh.
They're so intrigued by us because, and I didn't say I'm attracted to you, first of all. I said attractive.
No, I didn't say that you were attracted to me, friend.
So when people see us, right, they might think you're attractive and they might think I'm attractive. So when they see us together, they're probably thinking like, there's no way they're just friends, because they don't believe that men and women, or just men at least, men could be attracted to a female and not act on those attractions. And I feel like when situations are like that, it's less likely for men and women to be friends for real. Obviously, our situation's a little bit different, but for the most part, I wouldn't trust that either. So I'm not saying they can't be friends, because you can always find a way to be friends.
Okay.
But I don't think it's very likely when two people clearly have a certain type of vibe that seems to match.
How do you determine that clarity? I'm kind of interviewing you now, but I'll flip it back to me and answer on my own. How do you determine that clarity? Like, how do you determine if these two specific people can't be friends? Is it just based on looks?
I think that's what people are always like, the first thing.
Yeah, but I'm asking you now.
The first thing I would say is looks, and then also it's chemistry. Like, what do they do together? How much time do they spend together? Like, stuff like that. We do a lot of stuff together, but we basically grew up together. Our parents know each other. Like, it's just normal. It's not even like tried or forced. So it's like when people see friends with chemistry when they're opposite sex, they think now like they must have something deeper going on.
I feel that. I feel that. My opinion, do I think a guy and a girl can be friends? Honestly, I'm like very unique in that sense. Like, and I'm not trying to like make myself seem holier than thou, but like, you know, my friendship I have with Lex, Stacy, yourself. Like, I keep female friends sometimes. I just feel like they're more sincere for the most part. They're just, if you establish like intentional grounds, or if you establish intentional borders, they do well to respect that. It's usually us men that cross the border. Like, we usually break it. Like, we usually take you guys from one place to another place. So theoretically, can a man and a woman be friends? I personally, and this is where I really understand, and I guess you could say somewhat remotely empathize with like the public noise when it comes to us. But can a man and a woman be friends? Theoretically, no. Theoretically, I don't think so. I don't know how me and you could have been friends if I met you like this today. But for me, and maybe it's to a detriment, I don't know, but for me, all I've seen is the 15-year-old, no, the 8-year-old, the mouthy, talks too much, talks back 8-year-old. That's the person I always see. And for me, like, I think that changes things. Like, when we started rocking with each other and you were doing your community service hours, you're 15 years old. I'm what, 22 at that time?
I didn't even know you were that young. I just knew you were like young, like older than me, but I never
Thought I
like
was old 'cause I had a
like
business.
like 25 or something. I
Yes.
thought you were old.
I was 21, 22 at that
But
time.
people really don't understand how much of like my cub.
Yeah,
No, how much of
yeah, my cub, you are.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I'm really his cub.
Like my kid.
yeah.
Honestly, I'm not trying to undermine you and call you a kid, like for real.
That's really how you feel.
For a long time. Like you
Yeah.
just became an adult in my eyes now because you have motion. Or like you make decisions, you live on your own, like you move.
Yeah, I still be feeling like you be treating me like that though sometimes.
It's inherent. It's gonna happen. It's one of those things that it's a twitch for me. It's not, I'm not doing it on purpose. It's genuinely just a twitch. So if you feel that guys and girls can't be friends, right? This is where the conversation gets a little bit edgy. If you feel like guys and girls can't be friends, then take a couple minutes and articulate to me, to the best of your ability, why we were never able to cross that line and we remained friends the entire time. To whatever comfort level you feel like speaking on it, to, you know, like, obviously we'd prefer if you were 100% authentic and like real about whatever your answer is, but to whatever degree you feel comfortable, why do you think we weren't able to date even after we became adults? And this question isn't to say that we should date. This question is more of a retort to you saying that for the most part, men and women can't be friends. So if men and women can't be friends, and I'm kind of sort of saying men and women can't be friends, it's very specific and situational based. In your humble opinion, why do you think we were never able to cross over to the other side and we stayed friends?
Feeling like you're putting me on the spot. I feel like obviously like initially, like you said, like we became friends when I was like 15 years old. And the same way you've always seen me as like your kid or your little sister or whatever the case may be, I also looked at you in that authoritative position. Like you were like my big bro type of vibe, like just big bro friend, if you will. So it's like I have never been able to look at you a certain type of way, especially throughout my younger years. But, you know, I feel like this is something that we both know, but we don't really like talk about. It's like an elephant in the room, especially now that we're getting older.
Like what's something that we both know?
I'm about to get there.
Okay, my fault. I'm just...
Obviously, me and you can never cross a certain border because when I was younger, I did talk to one of your closest friends.
Okay.
And we did have a little relationship.
It wasn't little. You guys had a relationship.
We
Don't
had a
undermine it. Don't try and be cool and undermine it.
I'm not trying to undermine
You had a
it. We had a relationship.
Go on.
And that relationship ended. But honestly, I didn't need that relationship to end before I had realized that I made like some detrimental mistakes, you know?
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? Like, what do you mean you didn't need that relationship to end before? What do you mean by detrimental mistakes?
I just had like certain epiphanies or like revelations like throughout that relationship, like early on throughout that relationship, especially because around the same time you were kind of talking to someone around my age group. She was a little bit older, right? But she was pretty much in our world.
Are you talking about?
Yes. Who else?
Isn't she just a year older than you?
I don't know. Whatever.
Okay. Go on.
So she was beautiful. She was around my age group. I felt like we could be like the same type of, you know? So I always felt like...
So sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. I'm just trying to understand what you're saying. So you feel like, because that was like the first like younger girl that I had ever talked to. I typically always ended up talking to girls even older than me.
You talk to older girls.
So would you say that talking to her like humanized me for you and made me not be like big bro kind of ish?
Yeah, I had like 2 of those moments. So that was like the first moment. I'm going to get there. I've always been around your girlfriends. Like I've seen it. I don't care. You are not shy to bring me around. Like they see me in the corner eating my bag of chips. Like I'm there. Like, but I've never felt no type of way in any of those like interactions with people you would date or you would bring around.
I never got that vibe off you.
Never. But there was a time where you and homegirl, I was at
Same
your
one?
house. Yes, we're talking about the same one. She came over to your condo,
Okay.
and I was already there. You told me like, "Yo, she's coming over." Blah blah blah. I'm like, "Yeah, cool, whatever." And we're all just vibing. We came watching movies, playing music. We're politicking, talking, whatever. And then there was just a point where it's like, okay, we're all kind of doing our own thing. I'm like slunched over in my phone, and then I seen you guys like sitting over there, and you guys were like cuddling. You guys were cuddling, and I was looking at you guys, and I'm like, and I thought you guys looked really, really cute, and I just felt like I felt a little bit jealous at the time. And mind you, I was in a relationship with your friend at this time, so me and him are together, and I'm seeing you with this girl that's like my age basically,
She's
and I'm
beautiful
just
too.
yeah, she was beautiful, and I just felt really jealous, and I just kind of didn't. I just really felt like, oh, like he really does see me like his little sis, like, you know, like, cause why would you like skip me, like if I'm literally always over there? But I didn't really want to entertain those talks. I mean, that idea, especially because I was still with your friend and I really liked him. I did, but I couldn't help but feel like I just kind of felt a little bit dissed. I felt a little bit like, you know, like I don't get it, but it is what it is type of thing. And that was like my first like epiphany or revelation where you kind of started to like, 'cause first of all, what the fuck? Why am I even like jealous? Like I felt so weird. Like I didn't want to accept that. And I would always just remember, yo, what are you doing? Like you're talking to his friend. So
Never told me that before. But
Yeah.
go on, finish.
I have a snap in my phone. I think I sent it to you and I said, oh, so cute. I sent it to you. So you have that video. I sent it
You
to
sent
you.
me that video of
But
me
when I
and
was
her.
recording it, I was looking at it like such like.
But you never
envy.
sent it to me and said this. You just sent me the video to be funny, like, yeah, you caught me slipping type shit. If I got that correct.
Yeah, that's how I sent it to you. I
Yeah.
didn't send it to you like on some like, oh, I'm jealous or nothing. Like I'm still gonna be normal. 'Cause at the end of the day, you're still Nana. Like you're still big bro. Like in the back of my mind, you've always been my friend. So it's just a weird, strange feeling that I've never felt before that I felt at that time. And the second time, which was like the bigger like epiphany that I had, that I felt like, oh shit, like maybe I should have never done this. And I liked him. I really did like him, but we came to your house. We're all chilling. We're all vibing. And there was just a moment where like I had my eyes on you and I just kind of got like very like distracted. And I've always known you were an attractive person, but I've never physically felt attracted to you, if that makes sense.
That makes
Like,
a
yeah,
lot of
like
sense.
the same way you would always be like, oh, you know, you're beautiful, you're a pretty girl. Like, you know, I always known like, hey, Nana's handsome, my friend's handsome, whatever the case may be. But that day you were wearing like a black Versace shirt
It's girl's waist.
with the gold emblem.
It's girl's waist.
And honestly, I just never really looked at you like that before. I was just like noticing things that I didn't notice. And like you were just fixing your teeth with your braces that were lining up. I'm like, his teeth are so straight. He's so tall. You were D's those times too, like super
I'm skinny
D's.
now.
Yeah, you lost weight. You just looked handsome. And then I just felt like, fuck, like mind you, I'm in this guy's arms. Like, I just felt like, fuck, like I like him, but like maybe I should have not made this decision just for the potential of something that could have transpired with me and you. At that point, it wasn't even an option, but like even the possibility of us ever being able to try something, I would have much rather took at the time instead of just being with him. It was very impulsive. And I want to like reiterate, like he was nice. I really liked him, but I just, in that moment, I really knew in my heart that I made a mistake and I felt it so bad in my chest. And honestly, for the duration of that relationship, I kind of just wanted to make it worth something, because it not working out and knowing that I potentially ruined something that I could have had in the future.
Why did you look at it like that though? Why did you look at it as like what made you suddenly have that switch, like that flip? This is new to me. What suddenly made you have that flip and that switch? Like what made you go from like, this is big bro to, oh my God, like I think this guy is handsome or something?
It was definitely when you started dating her, because it was like, now you're talking to girls my age, so now it feels like our age is clearly not a discrepancy anymore. It's not a factor. I'm not 15 years old anymore, and it's like I'm still pretty young, but it's like people date younger girls.
At that time when I was talking to her, you were what, 19?
I was 19.
Got it.
So I just still young. I'm still
mad
pretty
young,
young.
though.
I'm still pretty young, but once I started seeing you with this person that's pretty much the same age as me, it's like you just become another guy now. Like you're not like big bro no more, because it's like
Because big bro's not supposed to make you see certain stuff. And why am I talking to a girl that's your age in front of your face? Kind of.
And then I get into this relationship and he's like your age. So it's like now I'm just feeling like, why couldn't I just be with you? But you've always treated me like a little kid, and I've always been in like that position. You bring me around your girlfriends and your people you be dating and stuff. So it's like, it was, I feel like if certain things like that didn't exist, that decision would have completely not been made anyways. Because I feel like my mistake there too was, and when I say this is not me like dwelling or like, at the end of the day, I really appreciate our friendship. This isn't like, oh my God, like I want to be with Nana, but I'm just being real. Like when I
appreciate that, by the way. Keep talking though, I'm listening.
Yeah, so where was I?
Basically, well, while you were dating him, that's kind of where you transitioned to. And you're saying this isn't about you wanting to be in a relationship with me. At the end of the day, you know, like who I am to you. Did I make you lose your train of thoughts?
You did, but I'm just going to find myself and pick. Yeah, so anyways, I really liked him. But once I realized like age is not really a factor that much anymore, it's like and I thought very highly of him. You know, and you also helped me think highly of him. And we also kind of come from the same past. We all went to the same church, also knew his family, stuff like that. So I thought highly of him. It was easy to like him. It felt safe. I feel like my problem was I counted myself out, you know?
Yeah.
And you're just very like unique type of individual. Like, you know, you could be very like not strict, I wouldn't say strict, but you're just very like decisive, like you know what you want, you have high standards and stuff like that. And I feel like aside from me feeling like I was just your little sis and just a little girl and just like Karen, like push her in the head, like I also just felt like I couldn't assume that position because it's just something I could never live up to, you know? I feel like I didn't really see my worth. Obviously, I didn't. I was 19 years old. And even still now, I still like battle with like that self-esteem thing. And it's not because you make yourself aesthetically pleasing externally, it means that's how you feel on the inside. So I feel like the way I look is not reflected on the inside. And had I felt like I could be something or I could be good enough, like I would have just held out on that decision. Like at the end of the day, like us being together or us trying anything was just never
It's never in our deck of cards.
at the time especially, you
It's
know?
never in our deck of cards.
Especially at the time, because it's like I'm 19 years old. I've been like this for so long. I've always seen you a certain type of way. So it's like that wasn't really an option. But like I said, like just the idea or that possibility would have been like something that I much rather would have had.
That's very introspective, and I don't think I have a position in really saying much. I don't know how I follow up after that. Why I think we didn't date? I think my brain could never figure out. Even as you got older, like I never even thought about it. Like it was just a little kid, like, you know, just a little kid. Even if I talk to someone the same age as you, in my mind, you were never the age you were turning. You were always the age you started with me. You know, like we had a relationship where I would get at you to go change your clothes that you're wearing because I thought they were too revealing for a little girl, and you can't come in my car unless you go change your clothes. Like that's a weird place to come from to try to be in a relationship. Like your mom's calling me if you're not listening to her type of vibe. It's very difficult to transition from that to like, I find this girl attractive, and not to like be braggadocious or something, but like I do a pretty fair job attracting beautiful women. So I've always been very easily distracted. I never had to sit down and really look at my life and understand like, okay, this is like entertaining, this is exciting, but like what's best for my future? And do I have that in my face right now? And you could have just never been a candidate because you were too young. You were way too young. You were just way too young when we started. And I think that was really like our security guard. Like that's really what held us together for real and never made us cross that line, never made us disrespect you. There's a reason you still respect me till this stage because I never sold myself out to you. Like my I never showed my nigga side rather than like rather I instead held on to whatever preserved innocence I can hold on to in order to maintain whatever it is that we have, because crossing that line with you as well means that then anything I ever told you to try to protect you is just not true. And if I can't do it, how could you ever expect anyone else to do it? That was my thing. Like that was like my motivation. So I could never see you any other way except for this is my little sister. I'm someone that protects her. She needs something, she comes to me. If she can't get it from her parents, and I'm always pushing you to try to be a better version of yourself. And I was too much in my dog era when you were coming up. Like I just know myself. Like I would have, if we ever tried anything, I would have literally ruined our friendship like 1,000,000,000%. There's no way. Like I just know myself. Like even after you were 19. If we ever tried anything, I would have literally ruined our relationship because I'm very impulsive. And at the same time, I'm also very like edgy when it comes to decision making, meaning like if you do something that the future version of myself can't picture himself being with, are you following what I just said?
I know you. I know what the fuck you're talking about.
If you do something that the future version of myself feels like he can't exist with, then I just cut everything off.
Yeah.
And that's me, honestly. And so me not wanting to ever play with or ruin our relationship is why I always, I guess for lack of better terms, I'm not trying to like belittle you once again, but I guess that's kind of why I always left you in the doghouse, so to speak. Because bringing you out of the doghouse was just a recipe for disaster. In my sincere opinion, I'm telling you the gospel truth. Like, that's why. So, wow. Oh, Lee, this is crazy. I didn't expect it to go on this angle to this degree. But I appreciate all the honesty you gave. I appreciate everything that you said. Guys, we're gonna be really rolling out with this. We plan on really going hard, really putting ourselves in a position where we're one of the top podcasts in the city, in the country, eventually heading over to America and take over there as well too. We'd like to one day do OTM tours, off the muscle. Off the muscle is just simply means we literally got it from nothing. We both are pretty well to do and we're both pretty financially stable. And that really came from no platform. We had to build our own platform and then stand on it. And we have this beautiful dynamic where one person is just always carrying the other person. If it's my turn, I know what to do. If it's her turn, she knows what to do. And I think we've built that way and we've really put ourselves in a position where it's really hard to fail. It's really hard to fail when you have a friend that will literally do anything it takes to make sure that you win. With that being said, I hope you guys take the time to like, subscribe, follow us on Instagram, on all social platforms. Please like, and subscribe because, of course, subscriptions is what determines everything else, is what's going to keep us motivated and keep us going. We need to know who's messing with us and who's not. We really, 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 really deeply appreciate you guys. If you made it this far, thank you so much for staying tuned in. On behalf of me and Karen and the OTM family, we just want to take a second and say thank you. We're out.